Hi everybody. Things down here. Hi William. Hi Double. How are you this afternoon? I hope you are well. Of course, when I come on my phone, my phone goes crazy. That I'll be able to do this live stream without any interruptions. But we never know. Thank you, William. That's so kind. Hi Aris. Thank you so much. Well, talking about my videos, because I put up Sheen, am I saying that right? I hope I am. Hello? Halloween, oh well. That's what this whole live stream I thought would be about. Would be about paranormal things, UFOs, Halloween, spooky things, Bigfoot, anything like that that we'd like to talk about. For Halloween, I put up my little shop of blueberry video this morning, and that was such fun to do because I got to dress up like a fox. And honestly, I'm like a big kid. Enjoyed it, having the fox outfit on, and I had fingerless gloves with foxy paws, and I done my little shop of blueberry number 3. And, I really enjoyed that. So for Halloween, you will see that I bought a fog machine. Bought this fog machine. I thought it would be probably about that size, maybe. Put this fog machine on my fireplace, and the fog can just, cascade down. I probably will, Aris, I hope I'm saying your name right. I probably will do a scary story video, but closer to Halloween. Fog machine, there's my phone going again. I don't know who that is. Came in the post. I think the fog machine was about £40, something like that, And you've got to buy the fog liquid as well to put in the fog machine. So when it came, honestly, it's like a fog machine that you would have in a disco or a nightclub. It's big and it's heavy. And it was when you press the button on the video, I've had to turn the sound down because when you press the button, it goes whoosh, like that with fog. When I first got it, and I pressed the button, and it was like shh, like that. Poor Mr. Mike and Poppy were scampering for their lives. The place was absolutely like thick with fog in the living room. I could hardly see where I was going. So I opened my front door, and the fog is going out my front door, and I thought, oh my God, my neighbours are going to phone 999 and say there's a fire. There's a fire next door. The amount of fog. So when I done my video this morning, I just gave it a few puffs of the fog machine, to set the mood. But on Halloween night, I'm going to have the fog machine, and I'm just going to fog it, fog it like that. So it'll be a lovely clear night, clear skies, and people will come to my house. The kids will come to my house, and it'll be dark and dreary with skeletons and fog. I hope it doesn't scare them. Abby, I have had loads of paranormal experiences. Not in this house, not in this house. And in fact, see the title, I've had all three of those things, and I'll go into them all. First of all, in my old house, and I've got loads of videos, because I've only been in this house coming up a year. I've been in this house, but in the old house, it was haunted as anything, and I'm not kidding. And even people that would spend the night would say that they didn't feel easy. There was a certain feeling as soon as you went into the house, like trying to explain, like a heavy. Felt as if you were underground. There's a few Scottish ASMR artists. You should have a look at Scottish Murmurs. Scottish Murmurs. She's beautiful. She's such a gorgeous girl, and her videos are excellent. You'll probably love them as well. And there's a few men as well. I can't think of their names on the top of my head, but they do ASMR videos. So there's a few of us now. When I first started, I think there was only one other person that done it. But there's a few of us now. But the old house, as soon as you went into it, you felt the heaviness, like a pressure. And I stayed in that house for about 20 years and kind of got used to it. But in that time, numerous strange things happened. Lamps would turn on and they wouldn't be plugged into any socket. They would just turn on. My ex-husband one time had touched one of the lamps, but it wasn't plugged in and it went on. And he's very skeptical. He's always been very skeptic about things like that. And he said it was static electricity that made the light go on. You could hold the light bulb and rub your feet all over the carpet. It wouldn't go on. It just wouldn't go on. So that was one thing. And also we've seen things. Abby, well, I think where my old house was, I think that must have been some kind of ground that maybe the clans of Scotland had fights on. You know, like William Wallace's time, and I think battles happened in that land because there wasn't just one ghost. There was about three that games, and it would move objects, things for weeks, months, and then you would walk in the living room door, and there'd be lying, like my keys, for instance. I had lost my keys for weeks, and I had no idea where they were. I was almost breaking into my car one day because my keys had vanished. Oh no, I'm offline. I don't know what happened there. See? My keys had vanished. I didn't know where they were. I couldn't get in my car that day. So I did a high open-minded, open-hearted Canadian. Well, I've got Canadian blood in me too. My dad's Canadian. So that's cute. ASMR helped me in a million ways. ASMR helped me so much and still does. This time my keys had vanished, and it eventually came to, I came to the conclusion I lost them outside, but I had to have had them to get in the front door. But I thought, they're not here. I hunted every room in the house. So 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even longer, passed. And in that time, my girls were young at the time. They were messy, you know, they'd leave toys lying about, etc. And I would have cleaned up that house numerous times. I would have hoovered. My goodness, I hoovered every day, you know, loads and loads of times. And my brother and sister-in-law had come up, and my brother-in-law, they knew that I had lost my keys because I asked them if they were in their house. Said, in the middle of the floor. My keys were lying in the middle of the floor on the carpet where I had hoovered 1,000,000 times. And I said to you, oh, somebody's playing a trick here. You've had the keys. And every single one of the people in the house swore to God and on their kids' lives and everything. They never had the keys. Nobody had the keys. And they just appeared. So another time as well. Now, I'm convinced that was the ghost child that likes to play games, you know, and have a laugh. There was another time, and I was skint, we call it in Glasgow, you know, with no money, and all I had was a £5 note this day. And I thought, right, the £5 note, that gets me milk, bread, something else, £5 note. And I'd put it down somewhere in the kitchen, and I'd went away, and I came back, and it had gone. Okay, double. So this £5 had absolutely vanished. I had no more money, so I couldn't go out, and I was thinking, where is it? And I had went round everywhere, couldn't find it. So I went to the kitchen, and I rubbed over the kitchen counters, and I said out loud, "It's not here." And I went to the next kitchen counter, and I rubbed my hands all over it, and I went, "It's not here." And I'd done that throughout the kitchen, and then in the living room, I'd done that. So hours had passed, and I eventually thought, well, I've lost it. I don't know where it is. I've lost this money. And I was sitting watching the telly, so I decided to make myself a cup of coffee. So I went to the kitchen, and it was lying there on the kitchen table, next to the kettle. I was like, oh, I actually, it was one of the times that I kind of jumped back, like, oh, and the air came out me. Yeah. And honestly, I had went over the counter and I had said out loud, "It's not here," just to make sure that I wasn't going off my head. You know, just sitting. Now, as well as that, we've seen actual figures in the house. I've got 2 dogs, and yes, and before I had Mikey and Poppy, I had a Dalmatian. His name was Harvey. He was a wonderful big dog, and he would freak me out. He would be sitting all of a sudden, and he'd be looking up in the corner of the living room like that. And you would shout him, and he wouldn't move. He'd just be staring like that. And you'd go, "Harvey, Harvey, Harvey," like that, and he would just be sitting like that. And I'd be sitting looking at the dog, looking at the corner, looking at the dog, looking at the corner, going, "What is it, boy? What is it?" So the dogs did sense it. What's my favourite colour? I love pink. Pink and red are my favourite colours. But the dogs definitely did sense things. And then my son, hold on, I'll take a drink. My son, when he came along, he was sleeping in his bed. Well, he was going to sleep one night, and I read him a bedtime story every night. So he's tucked in his bed, and I'm sitting next to him, and I'm reading a story. And the door was here, his bedroom door was here, and the bathroom was down that way. So I'm sitting in it, and I was reading his story, and all of a sudden I just seen this figure walking by. Do you know, it wasn't like stepping by, it was just like kind of going by like this, but it was tall. This was tall. This was a tall figure. All I seen was the shadow. It was just like a shadow, and it walked into the bathroom. And I hadn't been drinking or smoking anything funny or anything like that. Oh, that I seen this thing, I thought, who's that went into the bathroom? And I put the book down. I says, I'll be back in a minute, darling, to my son. And I went out and I looked in the bathroom and there was nothing there. There was absolutely nothing there. So that was like a man. That was a man, and we had the child, and then there was another, I can't remember what the other one was about, but I'm sure there was about 3 different spirits in that house. We seen orbs all the time, with pictures with orbs, videos with orbs. Just strange things happened in that house all the time. And when I moved into this house, the first thing I noticed was the change in energy. It felt airy and it felt bright, alive. You know, it felt there was a different energy altogether. Sure, where the houses, my old house was, I'm sure if I looked back on it, like in history, there's been battles or something in that area, because it was so haunted. And I don't think it was just my house. I think maybe a lot of the houses were haunted round about that area. So yes, I definitely believe in things like that. The energy in between being alive and being, you know, going to heaven or wherever, you know, energy gets trapped. And it's we actually get used to it. At first, people would say hide, but I would be lying in my bed at night and I would hear it running up and down the stair. I'm sure that was a child running up and down the stair, running up and down the stair. And the dog would be sitting, would be next to us. So, and I wasn't the kids. And I would just be kind of in mid-sleep thinking, no, I wish they would be quiet. No, we get used to it. Open-minded, I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know what era the ghosts were from, or if they were from different times, or another thing that happened a lot was my batteries would die. I would just buy packets of batteries and I'd go to use them and they'd be dead. And I'd started doing my ASMR videos over there, and I would fully charge my camcorder, and then when I went to use it, the battery would be dead, as if it sucked the electricity. You know, just strange things. Aris, is it Aris or Eris? Ghosts are always playing games. That's what happened to me in the house I used to live in. That's why I moved. Well, please let me know what happened to you, because honestly, I mean, I've not went to newspapers or decided to sell my story or anything like that. And when you tell these kind of stories, you think people are going to say, "Oh, she's crazy. She's, you know," and it's absolutely true. If someone was to put a lie detector on me, I'd pass. Absolutely true. The things that happened in that house was, and as I said, the feeling that you got as soon as you walked in the door, there was a. But I do think the tall figure. I do think that that particular, there's been some sort of battle on it, and that's the kind of feeling I got from that. The child, I'm not sure. A child, I'm thinking it's a child because it liked to play games. Maybe it was an adult, but I just get the impression it played the kind of games that kids like to play with you know, hide and seek. You know, and I would I'd be in the house myself. Now, this happened on hundreds of occasions, and things would move. And I'd be standing in the middle of the living room saying, please just tell me where it is. You know, hi, Dan. I hope you're doing well today. We're just talking about spooky stuff. things moved around, footsteps and lights. I was really scared. It can be scary. It can be scary. They'd be running. It wouldn't even just be footsteps. They'd be running up and down our stairs, running up and down them. And one day, my daughter's room was there. My room was here. The stairs were in the middle, and the dog was here next to us. And they was running up and down the stair, running up and down the stair. Then to me, Mum, can you hear that? And I went, and I wish it would shut up. We kind of get used to it. Oh, Dan, please tell me spooky stuff. Do you not think it's better when you're listening to spooky stories if you actually have had a kind of experience like that? You like to listen more to paranormal stories and things like that because you know what's happened to you. But lights would go on and off. As I say, my batteries, I couldn't keep batteries in that other house. My batteries would die. You know, I would just buy a packet, and I'd buy the good packet, not the pound shop packets. Good packets, Duracell, things like that, and they'd be dead. They would be just dead by the time I went to use them. And I can remember my ex-husband used to say, "Oh, there must have been a faulty batch or whatever," but no, it couldn't happen with all those. So many. There was just so many. Oh dear. Oh, you do get them. Get the trolls. That's not very nice. See, if my daughter was here, she's a mod, and she would have shoved the spanner up your arse. So, all that happened, but let's talk about other spooky things. Like aliens. Hold on a minute. Dan says, my friends and I made a fake Ouija board. Oh no. Just out of pieces of paper. And while asking, someone asked for the spirit to show themselves. Well, it did. The wardrobe upstairs was pushed over. My goodness. But the doors were facing the ceiling rather than being facing against the ground. That's scary. That's more like what do you call them? Oh, William, I know I'm not even going to listen to them. See, doing videos, you get some. It kind of gets to the stage like ghosts that once you've seen one troll, you're like, okay, seen it, heard it. Dan, that sounds more like a poltergeist activity. See, the house I was in, even though it was haunted with multiple ghosts, I never felt for 1 minute that they meant harm to us. They were going to harm us in any way. But poltergeists are different. I think they mean to harm you, and that sounds really, really like a poltergeist thing. Yeah, it was a cold house. It was always cold, and I felt cold and damp, even though there was no damp. It just felt cold and dreary and grey, and as I said, it felt as if you were underground. That's the way it felt because it was like this heaviness. It felt like a heavy kind of. I can't even explain it any better than that. But that's just the way. That's just the way it felt. Really, really heavy. And as soon as I moved in here, I thought, oh, wow. And it felt like a breath of fresh air. That's the way it felt. It felt, wow, this is great. So let's talk about UFOs, because we smashed the glass that we were using. Felt sorry for my pal who had to stay after we left. See, I wouldn't even dabble with Ouija boards. I'm too frightened. I'm too frightened of Ouija boards, because I know there is something else there. There is things that we can't see, and I'd be too frightened to mess around with a Ouija board. William says, I used to live in a house in Marlow. It was about 4 years ago when I was 9, and there was all this weird stuff happening. I had my bed covers pulled off and TVs turned on. It was so scary. See, that is scary. I think if I was to wake up and it was pulling the covers off me, I would really. Then I would have moved out a lot faster. Whereas when we were in our bed sleeping, they didn't mess with us, kind of thing. You know, they used to run up and down the stairs and that kind of thing, but they never. See, that my daughter said she woke up and the figure that I saw, she explained it exactly. Excuse me. Exactly the way I had seen it, and she said she'd seen it at the bottom of her bed, just standing there, and she was so terrified to get out of her bed. Now that I'm here, I think to myself, how did I stand all those years? See, Dan, I think sometimes, especially when you're younger, you think, oh, that would be a great idea to and play with it. But I don't think it's something to be messed about with. I really don't. Move on to UFOs. Has anyone experienced anything like that? Seen anything in the night sky? Because I have been watching now. I'll come right out and say it. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, where I stay in Scotland, we are close to the UFO capital of Scotland, and that's Bonnybridge, a place called Bonnybridge, where there's numerous UFOs been spotted, etc. And when I was about 7 years old, my dad had said to me, do you want to come with me to collect your mum? My mum worked in a bakery at the time. And I loved going around in the car with my dad. So I said, yes, let's go and get mum. So we arrived at my mum's work, and it wasn't quite finishing time. So we had been sitting in the car park on my mum finishing. And my dad noticed that people were all standing outside looking up at the sky and pointing. So my dad gets out of the car, of course, I'm sitting playing with a doll or whatever it was I was playing with. And the next thing my dad says to me, Linda, come out of the car and have a look at this. And I got out of the car and he pointed up, and there was a thing in the sky, and it was like a cigar shape. And there was like red underneath the bottom side of it, as if it was flames. Sounds crazy, but to me as a kid, it looked as if it was flames. It could have been lights at the bottom, but it was a definite cigar-shaped object in the sky. And do you see that? Do you see that? And I was going, yes, I can see it. He's saying, look at the shape of it and everything. I was going, I know, I can see it. And there was loads of people all out pointing in the sky. So that's all I can remember about that, and then we had went home. But I remember at every party, my dad would say, tell them what you saw, tell them what you saw. And I'd be telling people what I saw in the sky. And about a week later, it was in the newspapers that something had been picked up on the radar. And it was a UFO. They had no idea what it was. And there was like 700 people that had witnessed this UFO in the sky. Of course, some people will think it's a test plane or whatever. But even now, I've never seen anything like it. And I've been looking up at the sky ever since, hoping that I would see something else, but I haven't. But I've been wishing that I would see something else. But I really did see something back then that was strange to me. And of course, all the adults had no idea what this was. It was just strange. But I do stay close to a place called Bonnybridge, and a lot of people have said that they have spotted like triangular shaped objects in the sky. I'm always wanting I'm always wanting to see something else. I'm always hoping that when I'm lying on my lounger in the garden looking up, that I would see something. I wouldn't want to be abducted, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want any of that. But I would like to see it again, because, you know, I did see something. William says, I used to think there was a hand under my bed. So to get out of my bed, I used to crawl to the bottom of it. Oh my goodness. Car garage, and I used it as stairs so we were pulled under. Oh my God, William. That is scary. So over the past week, I have been watching, and I recommend you watch these, and it's retired Area 51 workers and retired it's MI5 or something CIA, all of them. And you'll find it on YouTube, retired, if you type in retired Area 51 workers, you find the whole list, and it's men that have been like in the military, that are sergeants, that are flown planes, astronauts. There's a whole list of people that are credible witnesses. That, in fact, there was one that I sent to my mum, and it was a man, and he was dying. You'll find this as soon as you type in that. You'll find him. He had kidney failure, and he only had a matter of months to live. And he wanted to he wanted to tell his story before he passed away. He held his story in for years and years and years, and he wanted to let us all know what was going on. And he said that he was a military man, that he got promoted up in the military and ended up going to the White House. I can't remember, was it Carter or Nixon or someone that was the president at the time? And they wanted him to go to Area 51. They had heard there was things happening. The president didn't know about it at the time, what had happened in Roswell or anything. He didn't know anything about it. Wanted to know. And he said if they didn't give up what was happening in Area 51, he was going to use, oh, for goodness sake, trolls, go away, where's my either? So he said that he wanted this man to go over to Area 51 to find out what was going on. And if they didn't tell them, he was going to use the First Army. I've never heard of that, but I've heard of Air Force One, so I'm presuming it's something to do with the president. So he said they would use that to invade the base, take over whatever secrets was happening. So the man went to Area 51, he says, and there was all different hangars. He says they were like garage doors. He says, and in the first one was the craft that was in the Roswell and crash. He says, and looking at it, he says it was like, we call it aluminium, but you call it aluminum foil. He says, but thick. He says, but you could rock it. He said that was a big craft, but you could rock it, And he said they had been into another room and they actually had one of the aliens or what, but apparently could communicate. Tom Jones. I know you wonder who these trolls are. They don't bother me anymore, William. Oh, thank you, Kieran. So now this man, when he told his story, as he was talking, it was kind of because the man was at the end of his life. And when he done the interview, it looked as if he was in a care home kind of situation. And he had nothing to gain from telling this. But after he told his whole story about the aliens in Area 51 and everything, he took a big deep breath and he says, I actually feel better. So now that's what I'm doing every night. I'm looking into all these retired FBI. I'm hoping the men in black. That's another thing. He said the men in black. He said once he'd been back to the White House and he had told the president what was going on, he said the president was shocked and was worried, about it all. He says, and a few weeks later, he said he was in a supermarket. He said, and two men got out a black car with black suits on and come over and says to him, to keep your mouth shut, we know your family, we know, where you stay, we know your phone calls, we know everything about you, basically. So, keep, I just love stuff like that, though. Like that, I really, really enjoy so much. I've been looking into all these stories, and it's just coming up to Halloween. It's just spooky. So anyway, I'm going to get off here and make my dinner, or put my dinner on. And if you have got any stories for me, please put them in the comment section, because I love reading all this kind of stuff. And I know that Tom Jones is away to make up another troll account, and he'll be back at any second to write a lot of bad stuff. So I hope you enjoyed my Halloween video that I made today. It's up on my channel. And I enjoyed it. I dressed up as a fox, so I really enjoyed doing that. Minded, I'll have a good day. There we go. See, I said it. I said it. Yeah, too much information there. See, I knew I knew they'd be a way to make up another account. It's the same person. They'll be away the now. Oh, hurry and make another account so I can get back on her live chat and write more stuff. That doesn't bother me. They could write whatever they wanted. It wouldn't bother me. So anyway, thank you everyone for spending this time with me this afternoon. Enjoyed it, and it's really thank you, William. It's really got me in the mood now for Halloween. And when I've got my glow in the dark skull and cauldron going, and it's just lovely. So I hope you all have a wonderful Saturday, and I send you all my love and all my hugs. Bye everyone.